Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, starseed astrologer and spiritual messenger from sacredsoulempowerment.com. Here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, October 1st through Sunday, October 7th, 2018. For this week's weekly reading, we'll be using the Power Angel Tarot deck by Radley Valentine for the main message for everyone, and your special message card, depending on your stone of choice this week, will be coming from the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck. So just a reminder that we are now entering the month of October. That has a brand new energy from September's energy. So you want to make sure to go onto my YouTube channel under Colleen Lemma and watch the October angel reading for the whole month. Okay, so let's start by taking a look at the stones of choice for this week's reading. Your first stone of choice is this beautiful rhodonite. Now, rhodonite is a pink stone, so it relates to the heart chakra. This is a stone of compassion. It helps with emotional balance. It helps to clear emotional wounds and scars from the past. It's very helpful as far as clearing and activating the heart chakra, and it has this nurturing love quality to it. Your second stone of choice is garnet. Now, garnet relates to, I'd say, the sacral chakra area, but also the heart chakra. This helps to represent love and commitment. This is a stone of passion. This is a stone of sensuality, sexuality. It has a very strong and intense energy about it as far as love and commitment and devotion. And it's a stone of understanding each other in relationship. It's a stone that helps with trust, sincerity, and honesty in relationship. And also it's a stone of purification as well. I also feel like the base chakra is also indicated with this. So let's go heart and then sacral chakra for the passionate kind of, sexual energy, and then the root chakra with the kundalini energy and purification energy that this also brings. And then your last stone of choice is this beautiful rose quartz. Now, rose quartz is a beautiful pink stone as well, a little bit lighter in color than the rhodonite. This is also going to relate to the heart chakra. It's got a very gentle energy, unlike the garnet, which is more intense. This is a very gentle energy. And this rose quartz helps to clear anger, jealousy, resentment. It helps to heal relationships, and it helps to heal negative emotions. This is considered the romance stone, and it helps to attract love into your life. It's also a stone of peace as well as unconditional love. And this is unconditional love not only for other people but for the self as well. So again, your stones of choice are the rhodonite, the garnet, or the rose quartz. And I chose all of those stones this week because the highlight is going to be regarding Venus, the planet of the divine feminine, but we'll talk about that here in a moment. So in beginning with looking at the astrological energies for the week, we're going to look at Tuesday, the 2nd of October. Now, Mercury, the planet that rules the mental realm, the planet that rules our thoughts and our communications, it is currently in Libra, the sign of relationships, the sign of partnerships, the sign of equality. And it is challenging Pluto. Pluto is the planet of power and control, transformation, death and rebirth, transmutation, so transmuting lower vibrational energies. Again, these planets are in a challenge to one another. So, this is about, again, our thoughts being transformed. This is about communications, maybe being a little frustrated or challenged with other people, or even within ourselves and within our own mind. This can really help us to kind of look deeper. Again, Pluto kind of rules that Scorpio energy. It's the ruling planet for Scorpio. So this Mercury square Pluto can help us to look deeper, be more thoughtful, be more reflective, and really try to see what's underneath the surface. Now, Pluto, again, is about power, too. So this can be about us empowering our own thoughts and also being empowered within, again, communications with each other, too. Now, this is going to be especially powerful because on the same day, The moon is in the sign of Cancer, which is the opposite sign of where Pluto is. Pluto's in Capricorn. So the moon is in Cancer, which is its natural placement. The moon rules the sign of Cancer, which is very emotional, very empathic, very nurturing, very feeling oriented, very susceptible to their own emotions and the emotions of others. And on that same day, Tuesday the 2nd, when Mercury challenges Pluto, the moon will be in Cancer, and it will be challenging the sun, which is in Libra, again the sign of partnerships, and then it will be opposing Pluto, and then it will be challenging Mercury. So this Mercury square Pluto is being set off, so to speak, by the moon in Cancer, which is again going to heighten its effects. It's going to heighten our emotions and our emotional reactions with other people. This is why we have to be really aware of how we communicate to one another, because with the moon being an emotional Cancer, we're going to be, our emotional buttons can get pushed even more easily. Then we're going to look at Friday the 5th. This is the next day where there's something significant happening. On Friday the 5th, Venus, the ruler of the divine feminine energy on the planet, also the ruler of money and finances, as well as love and relationships, is stationing and going retrograde at 10 degrees of Scorpio on that day. So, we're going to feel Venus start to slow down earlier in the week, potentially for the whole week. Venus will be again coming to that stationary standstill point at 10 degrees of Scorpio. So it's going to heighten the effects of what Venus and Scorpio is all about. And, on the big level, I feel like, again, Venus, the ruler of the divine feminine, Scorpio is that energy of power or empowerment. This is about the women on the planet, and not just the women, but all people, because we all have a divine feminine part to our nature, but especially Venus rules women. So this is about us taking our power back. This is about owning our power, feeling empowered, okay? So, for those of us that may be in disempowering situations, circumstances, relationships, and it could be, relationship-oriented, family-oriented, career-oriented, money-oriented, this disempowering feeling that some of us might be going through could be in any area of our lives. But this is, again, about learning to being aware of our own sense of inner power and transforming our lives, which is, again, a Scorpio keyword here, transforming our lives and rebirthing a new way of feeling, rebirthing a new way of being, rebirthing a new way of acting in our lives. Now, Venus is going to be retrograde until November 16th. I do want to say that she's retrograding back from 10 degrees of Scorpio here in this month of October, all the way back to the 0 degree point of Scorpio by the end of this month. A little heads up is that in the whole month of November, she's in Libra, the sign of Libra. She retrogrades back into that partnership, relationship, equality kind of sign. She'll go direct on November 16th, continue to be in Libra, and then on December 2nd, she moves back into Scorpio, and then she'll be in Scorpio until January 7th. So what this is doing, again, with Venus now retrograde, starting out in Scorpio, retrograding back into Libra, is we have this idea of Libra relationships, partnerships, which can include business partnerships. It's all one-on-one interaction. And Scorpio about, passion. It's about sexuality, sensuality. It's about transformation and regeneration and death and rebirth and owning our power. So all of this is about the divine feminine working through relationship challenges to own her power or to take back her power. And this is in, the highest and most appropriate way. It's not to demean other people or push other people away, but it's just to own your own inner power, which is what we all need to do. We all have this spiritual power within us to create, to shine our light, to be what we're here to do, be what we're meant to be, to focus our energies in the way that we desire to focus our energies to accomplish our path, our purpose. And that's another good word for Scorpio, is our purpose, okay? All right, now I also want to say that even though this is going to be for next week's reading, we are approaching a new moon in Libra. That new moon in Libra will be next Monday, October 8th, but I wanted to mention it in this week's reading because as we get to Saturday and Sunday of this week, the 6th and the 7th of October, we're entering the dark of the moon phase. And you've heard me talk about this before. Whenever we enter that dark of the moon phase, it's where the moon is reflecting the least amount of light, and we're more apt to go through this releasing, letting go, and healing process within our own emotional bodies and our own emotional natures. Again, with this dark of the moon being in Libra before the Libra new moon, it's going to potentially affect, again, relationship matters. Is there balance? Is there equality? Is there compromise? All Libra keywords within our relationships and partnerships. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the messages from our angels and guides and see what they have to say. Okay, so we start out with the Four of Raphael. The Four of Raphael is the Four of Cups in the traditional tarot. And, the number 4, if you think about the number 4, geometrically speaking, it's a box. There's 4 corners to a box. It's sturdy, it's stable, but it's also confining and limiting to some extent. It's very practical. So, we can kind of look at those key words from the number 4 here as far as our emotional natures. Are we being restricting or limiting with our emotions? Are we being practical instead of nurturing? Are we being hard rather than loving? And, are we flexible, which the number 4 is lacking in flexibility? Are we allowing ourselves to be more flexible with our emotions and with our emotional nature? But the message at the bottom here says, seek out other possibilities. So that's kind of saying, that we're limiting ourselves in some way. Seek out other possibilities. Look for the magic in life. Be aware of your own emotions. So here we have this lovely young lady. She's sitting on a beach. We have Archangel Raphael behind her, in the ocean, which water symbolizes our emotions. And, she looks sad. She looks maybe a little, depressed, or she's being self-reflective. She almost looks a little lonely as well. And so again, we need to be more expressive, perhaps, in a positive way with our emotions. We need to feel better about ourselves as well. There might be some an identity crisis going on with some of you. There might be feelings of lack of worthiness or deservedness that are going on with some of you. And this is a time period where you need to be more loving towards yourself, more nurturing towards yourself. And again, expand yourself out of that box to look at the other possibilities with whatever circumstances you're going through. Look at the other possibilities that are there, that are being shown to you from your angels, from your guides, and from the universe, as far as where you can go next, what you can do next, how you can express yourself, and what would potentially, eventually bring you joy and happiness and contentment. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the second card. Okay, so here we have, and this kind of goes along with the first card of that self-reflective kind of energy of the young lady on the beach, but this is Major Arcana number 9. In this deck, it's called Epiphany with Archangel Raziel. Now, in the traditional tarot, this is the Hermit card. You can kind of see that with Archangel Raziel here. He's got his lantern, his light, which the Hermit always carries. And it's about seeking. The Hermit is about seeking our own inner light, looking for the light within ourselves, looking for the love within ourselves. And it's also about meditation and contemplation and, again, looking within to do some inner healing work. The message at the bottom says, joy through spiritual growth, be a light to others, and answers that come through meditation. So, I've especially drawn to that last message for this week's reading, answers that come through meditation. And again, with the dark of the moon, it's a time to self-reflect. It's a time to go within. It's a time to have some alone time, be with yourself in that dark of the moon as we near the end of the week, to kind of do that, again, that healing work, that inner spiritual journey regarding that next step on your path. As he holds the lantern, he's, trying to light the way to his next step, but he needs to be more aware of what he wants that next step to be, what he's feeling in the inside. Now, Archangel Raziel is the archangel of divine magic, of alchemy, which is about transforming one state of reality or beingness or material into something else. So alchemy, in old times was about turning lead into gold, but this can be about taking your current emotional state and transforming it and changing it to look at things from a different perspective and see things in a lighter and brighter way, that you're learning something along this path that you're taking. And, your way is being lit here by Archangel Raziel. Your angels are leading the way and showing you, trying to show you what the next step is, or bring you some awareness regarding something to, highlight your gifts, your talents, your abilities, highlight your sense of power and empowerment, as we were talking about earlier. The number 9 is the number of compassion and unconditional love as well. So that again needs to be infused, just as we talked about with the Four of Raphael. Infuse this idea of compassion and unconditional love towards yourself as well as towards others, but it definitely needs to start with self. Now the last card, 2 cards came out, so we're going to look at both of them. The first of the last card is the Four of Ariel. Okay, that's another 4. So we have 2 4s here of feeling restricted or limited or held back from expression or from moving forward. The Ariel suit is the suit of discs or pentacles in the traditional tarot. And the message at the bottom says, when you give, you also receive. It says being resistant to change, and that's what we've been talking about. Being resistant to change, not just feeling limited or restricted, but actually being resistant to changing your circumstances or changing yourself or changing the way you view something or see something. And it goes on to say extremes in how you save or spend money. And this can relate to Venus going retrograde too. Remember, Venus rules money and finances. So this can be about holding on to money too tightly and not, I want to say taking a risk, but maybe that's not quite accurate. It's like you might be, holding on too tightly to money, which is, it's creating this resistance to the flow of abundance and prosperity to you. If you have a fear regarding money or not having enough money, then you're creating this block to the money flowing in, or the abundance flowing in, or the blessings flowing in. Conversely, you might be spending too much and needing to be a little bit more practical and a little bit more organized with your money and your purchases. So either way, this kind of energy with the Four of Ariel can go either way with that. So just, watch the whole financial thing here as we end or near the end of the week with that Venus turning retrograde. Again, Scorpio is one of the money signs in the zodiac, so it deals with other people's money, finances, resources, and things like that. So it definitely could be something regarding your financial situation. But again, remember, as you give, you also receive. Have that flow. Don't hold on too tightly, but don't give so freely that you're giving it all away. You have to kind of find that balance in between. But know that as you're giving giving service to other people, as you're helping other people, it can be simple as a compliment and smiling to other people, that as you're giving that positive energy, you're going to be receiving positive energy in return. Now let's go ahead and look at this last card here. Okay, so we have another major arcana to end the week, major arcana number 16. In this deck, it's called Change Your Life with Archangel Shamuel. And this is the Tower card in the traditional tarot, and the Tower card can be pretty intense, just like the Mercury challenging Pluto earlier in the week, and even Venus retrograding in Scorpio can be intense because of the Scorpio energy. The Tower card can be about structures in your life that need to be torn down, taken down, dismantled in some way, so that you can rebuild something better, something stronger, something more stable. And a lot of times with the Tower, if you're not going through and doing it for yourself, if you're not like releasing something that needs to be released, if you're not changing something that needs to be changed, the universe kind of swoops in with the Tower card or the Change Your Life card here and helps to do it for you, basically. So it says a sudden revelation that offers freedom. Break free of procrastination and embrace the opportunities that change brings. So it reminds me of the first card. The first card was seek out other possibilities, and this one says embrace the opportunities that change will bring. So again, whether you're initiating the change or whether the universe is helping you by bringing in the change, know that it's bringing you to other potential, other opportunities, other possibilities that are coming in. Since this was next to the Four of Ariel, some of the change here could be regarding money or finances. It could be anything material. You can see a house that's pictured here. And, you know, house, what do we need? We need money and finances to purchase the house. This is about all material things in our lives that could even be related to career, job. You know, it's about the tangible things in life here. And so here there's something about change, something that's going to be changing. So go with the flow. Again, don't be resistant. This talks about being resistant to change. Isn't that interesting? It says being resistant to change, and this one talks about change your life. So it tells a story here. So, you know, try not to be resistant. Try to go with the flow. Try to surrender to where you're being taken, because nothing happens by accident. You know, there's a reason why things need to change or why things happen the way they happen. Okay? All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at your special message card. I decided on the Goddess deck because of Venus going retrograde this week. So for those of you that chose the Rhodonite, this one's sticking up for Rhodonite people. Green Tara, start delegating. And it says, ask others, including me, to help you instead of trying to do everything by yourself. So some of you are feeling overwhelmed. Some of you are feeling stressed. Some of you are just taking on maybe too many projects or too many activities, trying to do too many things. And this is saying, call in Green Tara, or call in your friends, call in your family members, call in your significant other to help you. You don't have to do it all alone. You don't have to try to do it all yourself. So, you know, start asking. And this is about, for those of you maybe in career, work, job situations as well. Sometimes we think, well, I have to do it myself to get it done the way I want it to get done. I've said that myself sometimes. But in this case, you're being asked to allow others to help you. And, you know, to me, sometimes when we don't want to ask for help from others, sometimes when we're not including others in this way, we're keeping them from learning something on their soul journey, because perhaps their soul needs to learn about giving assistance or being a part of something, you know, being part of community or sharing or whatever it might be. So don't keep another soul on the planet from learning what their lessons are too. So include them and ask, and maybe there's a lesson, you know, within the situation for both of you, for you to surrender, for you to ask for help and, you know, not feel like you have to do it by yourself, and for them too to kind of give service in some way, to assist in some way. All right, for those of you that chose the Garnet, this one right away, sticking up, Garnet people. Ooh, that really goes with Garnet. That's intense Scorpio energy. Isis, past life. And it says, this situation involves your past life memories. So you're in some sort of situation or circumstance where there's a pattern playing out, a pattern that you might be all too aware of. You know, maybe it's a pattern with your emotional nature, maybe it's a pattern with your thoughts, with your belief systems, maybe it's a pattern in relationships that keeps on going round and round and round. This is saying to take a look at that pattern. Try to understand the deeper meaning of that pattern. Now, Isis is a goddess to me. You know, she is that very divine feminine energy. She can be quite nurturing. She can be mothering, but she's very strong. This to me is like the old saying of the iron fist and the velvet glove. The iron fist is strong, it's hard, but the velvet glove is soft and nurturing. So it's almost like that energy that needs to be exuded this week. You know, Isis is a very powerful Egyptian goddess. So you might even want to call her in regarding a situation or a circumstance. But you definitely want to, again, try to be aware or get in touch with, and maybe some of you know what the past life is all about, but you don't have to. You know, maybe it's just, again, a pattern that you're aware of and it needs to be recognized so it can be healed and released and let go. All right, and then for those of you that chose the rose quartz people, asking for a card to show itself. This one's starting to stick up, rose quartz. Okay, I'm going to try to pronounce it. Ishal, medicine woman. It says, you are a channel for divine healing power. So this reminds me of claircognizance, or opening up your crown chakra, allowing a download of information or energy or healing to take place within you, through you, maybe for yourself, but maybe also for others. So, you know, Ishal, that medicine woman, it reminds me of that shaman or that priestess or energy. Again, a very powerful, magical energy here, powerful, magical woman. This is about empowerment. You know, what better symbol here than the medicine woman who is holding up her hands to the heavens. She's wearing this beautiful headdress that looks like it's made out of some nature, whether it be grass or flowers or whatever it might be. Lightning bolts that are coming down. That really goes with the Change Your Life card, by the way. Change your life. There's, you know, typically with the Tower card, there's lightning coming down from the sky. It might not be so apparent in this particular version of the Tower card, but the Change Your Life card typically has that, the lightning bolts that come down and drastically change things. And this card as well has that idea of empower yourself, own your power, channel your spiritual power. This, I'm getting that some of you need to channel your spiritual power and speak up and speak your truth with somebody, not in a frustrated or aggressive way, but in a way that you're asserting your boundaries regarding something, you know, in a way where you're standing in your truth about something. And again, the medicine woman brings healing in. She's bringing healing through from the universe or from the healers of the light and down through her crown chakra and into her body. And again, whether it be for herself or to channel it out to other people or the world, this is, again, a very powerful message. So I hope you've all liked this weekly angel card reading. Again, be sure to watch the monthly angel card reading. Thank you to all of those of you that comment on my videos and share or subscribe to my channel. Thank you to all of you that watch my Facebook posts regularly under my two pages, Colleen Lemma and Sacred Soul Empowerment. I appreciate all of your support, all of your love, all of your kindness, and I send it right back to you. So sending much love and light and many, many angel blessings to each and every one of you.